standards, right education system.
I'm the former Frank Key.
Of the Northwest Pass, we really need somebody different.
Your career, you're used to winning. Life, it was everything to us.
7 or 8 weeks of two-a-days.
They really made me appreciate
We're allowed to win.
he was coming in and we'd be shooting the whole time.
Let's go back real quick to the Enid Walker thing.
Of course, we have training in confined space.
Legitimate needing to know a little more.
A good safety tip on that, Steve.
Putting a hat on and getting out there and doing the job.
The television model that you watched growing up.
Houston, this is the International Space Station.
City Connections begins right now.
Hello, I'm Steve Kime. Welcome to City Connections. We are talking Enid Roller Girls. That's pretty graceful. Pretty good, huh? Pretty graceful. Again, welcome to our show today. I'm very pleased to have members of the Enid Roller Girls with us today. Thank you for joining me. To my immediate left is Kim Cramer, also known as
Corn-fed.
Corn-fed. I let her say that first. And then to my far left is Angela Combs. Is that right,
Yes,
Angela?
that's correct.
And she is known as, or her derby name, I should say, is Scarlett Sees Her.
Yes.
Interesting. Can we see your name on the back real quick?
Absolutely.
You showed it earlier. We'll
Yes,
just see if we can
yes.
get a shot. So that's it. Scarlett Sees Her. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. Well, we've had the opportunity to visit with the Enid Roller Girls for the last 3 years, a couple times, and so thank you for joining us here
Thank
at the
you.
Enid Television Network studio today. So it's a little awkward to be in a studio, right? You're usually skating in circle, correct?
Right. It
Yeah.
feels weird to sit.
Yeah,
Feels
carpet's
weird.
a little tricky.
Yeah. Well, first off, for the viewer, for the first time they see you in your bright purple outfit and the glitter and everything, they go, what is a Enid Roller Girl? So who wants to tackle that question?
Well, I can do that.
Okay.
Basically, we are members of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. So a lot of people may be familiar with the old school derby where you had the bank track and people threw chairs and all that kind of stuff. We're not really quite like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no chair throwing. We do skate on a flat track. And right now we've got probably about 15 to 20 people on our team who are all different levels of skills. Some folks are just starting out with the team, and some are seasoned veterans, age 21 until whenever you just don't want to do it anymore.
Okay. So Angela, tell us, how did you get involved? What was the interest for you?
Actually, a friend of mine that used to be on the team and is no longer on the team had been saying for a long time, come and watch one of our bouts, come watch. So finally, took the family and watched one of the bouts, and when we walked out that night, I said to my kids, I said, I got to do that. And they're like, Mom, you're nuts. You know, it was kind of this, Mom, you're old, and what's,
You're over 21, you're old,
Yeah,
right?
exactly right. But through the whole thing, I was just on the edge of my seat. And I had never seen roller derby before, ever. But I knew it was just something I wanted to be a part of. And then I went, and everybody was so welcoming. I thought I'd have to try out for the team. I thought, I got to, learn to skate again. And they said, no, you're interested. We'll teach you everything you need to know. Just come on and join us. And it's just been amazing.
Very good. Well, Kim, tell us your story as well. I mean, you're good to go with the knee pads, if you will, and
I like to go fast, and I like to hit people, and I like to wear glitter
now
and
she
sequin
tells
shorts.
me. Now she tells me.
Do you want me to trade her places? There's not a lot of sports where you can combine those three things, and this is one that's just a real good fit for me. It's just a lot of fun. It's very fast-paced, and it's just an unusual group of people that just really fit with my personality.
Very good. Now, have you skated forever? I mean, as a little girl growing up?
Yeah, my mom used to drop us off at the roller rink when she would go grocery shopping. So we kind of grew up in the roller skating.
Because it seems like, you kind of date myself and date other people. It seems like you grew up learning how to skate on your sidewalk and in your neighborhood driveway or something like that. But I'm not sure if I see that so much anymore of little girls or even little guys in driveway skating anymore. Like it's such a popular thing. So is it still popular, or how do people get introduced in skating at the skating rink?
At the skating rink is a great place to start. At some local public schools, they do a skate week at the school where during their PE classes they'll have a week of just roller skating. So that's a good way to get kids interested. But there's still a lot of young kids at the skate rink. If you go to an open skate, it's full of kids. Yeah.
Tell us about Scarlett sees her. From my experience of visiting with your team members for the last couple of years, there's some thought and meaning behind these names. So we'll leave corn-fed alone.
Okay.
But tell us about Scarlett sees her, please.
When I was
Angela.
trying to decide on a Derby name, a friend of mine had suggested Scarlet Fever, and I think she got that because of the red
Sure.
hair. And
Gone with the Wind and all that. Okay. the
exactly.
movie.
And there's actually like a huge website where you can go on there and you can look at all of the other Derby names that are already being used or that people have actually registered. And they really encourage you not to pick a name that someone else is using.
Sure,
So it was like, there's a lot of Scarlet Fevers. And so I was like, okay, what could I do instead? And so one of my teammates was like, how about Scarlett sees her? And I was like, done. So that's kind of how it came to be.
Very good. Well, I know there's a story behind all of those. Angela, you mentioned a few moments ago that it's a flat track, if you will. So, Kim, my question is, where do you practice and where do you hold the events? Is practice one place and then the actual bout another place? Or?
We practice on Wednesday nights at the local rink here in town, Skate Town, from 6:30 to 8:30, and then we have bouts both at Skate Town, and we also have bouts at the CNB Center in Enid here. And we also travel to Arkansas and Texas, maybe Kansas too, to do some away bouts too.
So when you travel to these bouts or these away events, are they typically Saturday or Sunday, or how does that work?
Usually they're Saturday.
Because we know that many of you are moms, many of you have professional lives and things of this nature, and you have to weave in exercise, training, and these bouts. So.
Right. They're usually scheduled on a Saturday. Usually Saturday evening is a very popular time. Some of them are Saturday morning or late morning too, just to squeeze them in. Whenever there's an opening at the rink and whenever we can get a team together, we'll play.
So Angela, the individual that's watching this, thinking, you know, I'm kind of interested in this. Tell us about practice. What's all involved in practice?
Well, we usually try to work in some endurance because that's one thing that you find really is important in Derby is having your endurance to be able to stay in there and you hang for a two, even though it's a 2-minute jam, which we won't go into all of the specifics of how the game is played right now, but you think, 2 minutes, it's not very long, but no, it's a really long time. So you got to have your endurance up. So we do some of that, and then we do some practice scrimmages, as you will, just amongst ourselves.
Okay.
We'll divide whoever's there in practice into 2 teams, and we'll get out there and work on our actual playing skills. And then for our players, we have what's called minimum skills. There's a several-page list of minimum skills that are required before you can actually be rostered. And so for our newer skaters, we'll have somebody that will work with them over on the side on passing those minimum skills. And those are things like, from how to stop, how to fall, how to backward skate, just a variety of things, gradually increasing in difficulty until you get everything marked off that list, and then you can be one of the rostered skaters.
We're talking about Enid Roller Girls here on City Connections today. To my immediate left is Kim Cramer, also known as AKA Cornfed, and then Angela Combs, just speaking a moment ago, Scarlett sees her. And, Kim, you were talking about your energy level, and it's just a perfect fit for you. And we'll tag on to this fitness question. Do you have to maintain your fitness level year-round? And I'll direct it to you first.
Sure.
Or is this, say, okay, I can do this in the fall or I can do this in the spring. But for you personally, do you train or you just stay fit year-round to help you in your skating?
Well, it's a goal of mine to stay fit all year long.
Okay.
Roller derby, the bout is 1 hour long, and active playing time is about 46 minutes, 43 to 46 minutes of active skating time. So you do have to have a pretty high level of endurance to maintain that compared to other games that you might watch.
Sure.
Like a football game in 2 hours will have 11 active minutes of football playing time.
Right.
So it's quite a difference. It's very fast-paced, and you do have to be able to keep moving, otherwise you're not going to score any points.
Because I'm sure that somebody's watching and said, well, I don't know if I can commit to a year-round fitness program, but maybe I can commit to 6 months. But we all want to maintain a healthy lifestyle, but I'm sure there's someone watching they really want to know the physical requirements to do this.
Anyone is welcome to come skate with us from 0 fitness level and 0 skating abilities. We'll find skates for you. We will help you learn to skate. We'll teach you the rules of the game. We'll get your fitness level up until you have passed all your minimum skills and are ready to skate with us in a bout. So it's we'll work with you. Whatever your fitness levels are, we can improve on that.
We need to close out this quick segment of our interview today. But Kim, let me ask you this. What's the best thing about being on the team?
The friendships, the camaraderie, and hitting people.
I was waiting for that line.
It's a great stress reliever.
I figured that physical contact or stomping on somebody was going to come in there, so whatever. So Angela, how about you? It sounds like you both have a great relationship, and there's other members of the team as well. And I think you said there may be 15 members that make up the Enid Roller Girls. What's the best thing about skating?
I think, like Kim said, the friends that I've made on this team, and the fact that when I came in at 47, 48 years old, that they welcomed me in, that they are constantly encouraging me. No one ever looked at me like, you're too old, you're too out of shape. Everybody, it's just just that constant encouragement, and you're going to get it, and you can do it, and that just feels great.
That's special.
Yeah.
Our last question, I'll leave it up to either one of you, and you can speak to the camera on this. What would you say to someone that's sitting there and watching this interview and they're on the fence, and said, I don't know if I should venture out and do this or not. What would you say to them?
I think I would definitely just say, just come down to Skate Town on a Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 8:30. And if you just want to watch practice, just visit with some of the girls on the team and just kind of see what goes on. And we're always willing to hook you up with some of the extra gear that we've got there and get you fitted in some pads, and we'll rent you some skates. And if you want to get out on the floor with us and just skate around, that's great. If you just want to be an observer. But yeah, just come down and check it out. Don't wait any longer. It's fun. It's great. Right. You'll love it.
So that's the word. Don't wait any longer. Kim, real quick, explain your wardrobe. You got the skates. Any special kind of skates?
You can spend as much money as you want on skates, but you don't have to. You just need a pair of quads, is what they're called. They're standard roller skates, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Okay. You need some knee pads. You don't
knee pads help you bounce off the hard floor, right?
Yeah, you need. You might not bounce, but they'll help you be able to walk the next day. You need to have elbow pads, and then also wrist guards, which I'm not wearing right now, and a helmet and a mouth guard, and you're set.
Okay, very good. Kim, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate that. Angela, thank you so much.
Steve.
Well, Enid Roller Girls and their first event's coming up on March 10th. Is it at the Central National Bank Center?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have that on the screen as well. But we have another guest, another Enid Roller Girl, and we'll introduce her to you right after this. Thanks for staying with us on City Connections. Welcome back to City Connections. Thank you for joining us today as we talk about the Enid Roller Girls. And my special guest now is Amanda Talley. Amanda has been with us before. Welcome back to the ETN studios.
Thanks for having me.
And you're next in line after we talk to Cornfed and Scarlett Sees Her. So you're a Rock Her Pepper, right? You're still staying with that name.
I'm still staying with that name, yep.
Well, welcome back, Amanda. It's good to have you with us. So tell us, how did you get involved?
Well, we first moved here in 2015. My husband's military, and we went to a First Friday, and we saw a booth with Enid Roller Girls, and I figured I need something to do. We just moved here. I don't know anything about the town, so I figured, why not? I used to skate when I was a kid. I could do this, so that's how I joined, and I'm still here.
We talked a little bit earlier with Kim and Angela about the fitness level. Tell us about your preparation. What do you do in particular just to stay, I guess, physically fit to skate?
Well, actually,
do you do a lot of things on the treadmill? Or?
I've been trying to run on the treadmill a lot more than usual because I just feel we need endurance and might as well. And actually, I skate in my driveway. I'm one of those people that still skates in the driveway. I encourage my kids to do as well because I bought them skates. And I chase my kids. That's how I keep my endurance up. And then just working out, going to practice, just keeping that physical level up.
Earlier in the interview, we were talking about the bouts or the skating events are on the weekend, and you travel to different states. Tell us again the states that you go to, and also some of the teams that you skate against.
We skate against teams that are about the same level, and we travel to Kansas and Arkansas, and this year we'll be traveling to Texas, and playing a team in North Texas, like the Dallas area.
Okay.
It'll be the first time we'll be playing them. They're usually around the same level. There's teams that are all over the state that they range from highly trained or high-level skaters,
Sure,
and
sure.
They're based in the city, just down to rec leagues, and we're right in the middle. So there's plenty of teams that we go against, like all over the state.
So is there a classification that you have to stay into so that competition is kind of even, or how does that work?
There is, like, we're considered B level, so the A level is like they're ranked in the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, so they travel to different states and play like higher level teams. And then there's the B level, which is where we're at, and we play like the same kind of skills level. And then there's like there's teams that are more like they're starting out, they're like with a few years experience, and like they're just trying to get more experience in the game.
Sure. Well, I talked to Angela earlier in the interview, and Scarlett sees her, and you, again, are Rock Her Pepper. So tell us a little bit. People are familiar with stage name, the derby name,
Right.
the AKA name, if you will. Why is that a part of skating?
I think it's because like when you're in roller derby, you kind of take on a different personality. Like it's not like you can see a person on the street, you wouldn't think that they're in roller derby. Like whenever I say I'm in roller derby to people I've met, they don't picture that. And so like by having that alter ego, it's kind of like an alter ego kind of thing, because that's your thing, and how like you can put away like your work life, your family life, and that is your derby life.
And you could just skate.
And you could just skate and hit people or prevent from getting hit. So.
Well, here we've turned the calendar, and the month of March is here. You have your first bout coming up on March 10th. Tell us about March 10th. Tell us everything about that, how people can go to see the bout, the cost, where at, and all that for us.
Well, the bout is March 10th, as you said, at the Central National Bank Center.
Okay.
And tickets right now are pre-sale, and they're $10 a ticket. Kids 12 and under are free with a paid adult. And if you're military, you get a $2 discount. And if you buy at the door the night of the event, it's $12 or $10 for military. And you can get the tickets pre-sale from either finding a Enid Roller Girl or going to the CNB Center or Skate Town or E-Town Vapor, who is one of our sponsors, or Enid RSVP. And they are actually the charity that we're going to be donating part of the proceeds to. So that is why they have the tickets that.
And that I appreciate you sharing that, because that leads into my last question. Besides skating, there's a good cause behind all of this. Tell us some of the nonprofits that you've invested into. Basically, you skate and you have the admission, but you give back.
Yes, with every bout that we do, we donate a portion of the proceeds that we earn from it to a local nonprofit, just to show that we are part of the community, and we want to share that, hey, we want to help our community out. And so that is why at each bout we pick a different nonprofit, and we'll say, hey, we want to help you guys out, come to our games, and we will give back to you. And so this time around we're donating to Enid RSVP, because we've actually helped out a lot with them in the past with their Santa for Seniors program over Christmas break, and just helping out in different areas that they're involved in.
Well, it's very admirable for your organization, the Enid Roller Girls, to skate and entertain folks, but at the same time give back to the community. And we appreciate you doing that. Well, you heard it first here on City Connections from Rock Her Pepper, right? Interesting. Amanda Talley, our special guest here today on City Connections. Amanda, thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much. And you're always welcome back to keep us updated on what's going on.
Definitely.
Keep in mind, March 10th is their first bout, Central National Bank Center.
Yes.
And so you can follow them on Facebook and get connected, and we'll run this interview numerous times to remind you about March 10th, the Enid Roller Girls. Again, thanks for being here. Thank you for being with us here on City Connections. I'm Steve Keim. Until next time, make it a great day.